I can't believe the news. I just can't believe the news. Did you guys hear that Dr. Michael Savage, as of January 2021, he will not be on live radio anymore? Did anyone hear that? Well, I wasn't sure about it. I thought it was a rumor at first, and then I didn't listen to him for like probably a week. So this morning when I woke up, I decided to check out his podcast, and I wanted to hear what he had to say about Trump contacting, COVID-19. And I wanted to hear what he had to say about that. And so I turned on his podcast, and after he, expresses his opinion about that a little bit, he briefly goes into very not minute, but very brief detail about him not being on the radio come January. He wouldn't get into specifics. I looked on michaelsavage.com. It's not on his website. He's not giving any reasons. He's just saying that he's not going to be on the air anymore. I'm kind of thinking maybe because the last couple of years his ratings may have been a little bit low, even though he still has millions of listeners, but he doesn't have the many millions more that Limbaugh still has and Sean Hannity and people like that. So that could be a possibility. The other possibility is he's retiring. He hasn't come out and said it. I don't know when he's going to make an official announcement about the reason why he's leaving radio, but he did say that he's possibly going to entertain the idea of, continuing his podcast. That I hope he does. I have been listening to Michael Savage probably since 2000. I think I started listening to him in the year 2000. I was living in Zillionople in Butler County at that time. And I used to work the night shift there in Butler County. And in those days, Savage used to be on in the evenings. He would come on, I think it was 7 o'clock he would come on, and I would be driving to work at around 9 o'clock. I started work at 10 o'clock at night. So I would listen to his program. I got tired of listening to all the tunes in my car all the time, so I said, you know what, I need a switch, and I started listening to talk radio. And then I turned on him. I just discovered him by pure accident. I can't remember what radio station he was on. Maybe you guys can leave a comment below. It was on a Pittsburgh radio station at that time. It was one of them talk show FM dials, but I can't remember which one it was. And I started listening to him, and I liked his voice. I liked the way he sounded on the radio. If any person had a voice for radio that was made for radio, it's definitely Dr. Savage. And I started listening to him, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this guy really has a perspective on politics. One of the unique things I liked about Dr. Savage is, of course, like myself, he's an independent conservative. He would crucify Democrats and he would crucify Republicans when it needed it. He wasn't he was never afraid to criticize anybody. That was one of the things that I liked about him, and that's one of the immense things that we're going to lose in talk radio, because there's really nobody out there that is going to castigate Republicans when they need castigating. Dr. Savage was an exception to that rule. He did that, and he did it well, and he did it better than anybody. I'm going to miss him. Also at the same time, though, when I used to listen to him, then I would, go park my car and go into work, punch in. Then on my lunch break, I would come back out, and I would listen to Coast AM, and that's also how I got introduced to Coast AM. And for you people who like paranormal stuff and ghosts and conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff, you really need to check out Coast AM. You should buy a subscription to it as well, because it's only like $30 for 6 months, and you get to listen to all kind of fascinating stuff. Anyways, I remember me developing all the perspectives and looking at things in an entirely different way. I would listen to Limbaugh. I would listen to Hannity. I don't listen to him anymore. I don't listen to the radio shows anymore. I haven't listened to Rush Limbaugh in years. And Hannity, I tune in once in a while for Fox News to listen to him occasionally, but I only watch Tucker Carlson. That's about it. I'm not a big Fox News fan. I am an independent. I like the idea of thinking for myself, developing opinions on my own. Dr. Savage has been a mentor to me over the years. He was the one that introduced me to that kind of thinking. I owe him a lot. I have no shame in confessing here on my channel that he was definitely a huge influence in my life, in politics, in religion, in literature. Not only does he discuss politics on his show over the years, he has discussed history. He's given history lessons. He's given medical lessons. He's given recipes for meatballs and spaghetti. And the guy is just a genius. He is so well-rounded. Who else do you know in media whether it's television or radio or podcasting or vlogging or what, has 2 master's degrees and a PhD. He's a trained epidemiologist. His perspective on COVID-19 is world-renowned. The guy's just, he has more education than anybody I can think of, especially a guy who sits here with a microphone in front of himself and talks about everything. I can't tell you how many times I used to listen to him and say, boy, you know what? He's really, really good when it comes to perspective. He just has an entirely different one. He is not a slave to the Republican Party. He is not a slave to the Democratic Party. He is a person who's neutral when he needs to be, and when he needs to be on somebody's side, when he thinks it's appropriate, he will do that. When he also needs to know that he can castigate you because of something that he feels is not in par or in line with the party of representation, he's the first to let us know. And for that, I'm very sorry that he's leaving the media, because he's exactly the voice that we need. Now, who can replace Dr. Savage? I don't think anybody can replace him. I'm kind of guessing they're probably going to put Ben Shapiro up in that slot. I don't know, because it's an afternoon slot now. It's right after, is it right after Rush Limbaugh, or is it during Rush Limbaugh? I can't remember, but because I don't listen to Rush Limbaugh anymore, so I think he still comes on at noon, doesn't he? I don't know. I can't remember, but somebody's going to go in that slot, and somebody's going to take it over. I don't know who's going to be able to, handle that kind of mentality with the wit and the delivery that Dr. Savage had. He's been a tremendous influence on me in all my thinking, and I'm really going to miss him. So, Dr. Savage, if you ever get a hold of this video and you're watching it, thank you for all the lessons you've taught me. Thank you for all the history you've given me. Thank you for all the knowledge that you have shared over the years on your program, because it's been truly enlightening. You are royalty as far as I'm concerned when it comes to radio. You're going to be missed. So with that said, I wish you well. I wish you good luck. If you are retiring, you have certainly earned it. God bless you and your family. And I don't know who's going to be able to ever take your place. At least we can have a podcast if you still continue that you decide that you want to do that. That's going to be great, because there's no way we can amalgamate what you say and what the rest of the radio talk shows say, because you are clearly in a league by yourself. So thank you, Dr. Savage, for all the wonderful information you've given us and perspective over the years. And with that said, guys, I hope that you kind of agree with me. If you don't disagree with me, leave a link, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, wear a mask.